Okay, so as you can see, I've been using these. We pulled it before, placed the mums in the front, and now I've cut these off just to use some mechanics. We're using all of our flowers. Okay, greens are last. Greens are the cheapest, obviously. We'll use those last. We'll use our flowers, as many as we have, first. We're gonna have a lot left over, you guys, so you do have enough to make another flower buddies with the flowers that were sent. Okay, so you're talking about a value of about, to make this arrangement with these flowers, it would cost you under $20. Okay. Okay, when you're greening and using stuff like pine, you want to make sure that you sink the pine all the way into the oasis. Okay, we don't want it hanging on top of our flowers. So for this, the only reason you're using the greens is to cover the mechanics, and that's your foam. So you push it all the way in. Okay, and it just gives it a nice fill. So remember, you don't want to leave it hanging out because it's going to cover flowers. You see what I did with the cedar here? So I just put it off to the side as an accent so we have the same length going out. Then we'll shove some in, get closer, and we'll cover up our foam. Finishing up the flower buddy. I did take my own advice and I got a bowl. So you can see how it works on a bowl. It's easy to turn around, right? One of the things you want to do when you're doing this, keep in mind, all right, if there's light behind the arrangement, all right, meaning that if there's a window or if it's sitting up against something that has light behind it, you might want to make sure that your back is completely covered, okay? Because if the light flows through and there's any mechanics showing, it'll show exceptionally well. So you don't want to see the oasis, you don't want to see the plastic, and so it's very important, okay? Fill in the back really well. Light won't get through it, it won't show off some of those inconsistencies, okay? But here is your flower buddy. Okay, it's time for Q&A. Dear Russ, does it matter what kind of flowers you send for a funeral? Is there a do not send flower, or is anything okay? Christy Swanson in Rochester, New York. I can tell you that it depends on the funeral, okay? I don't know if I would send a pink heart to a deceased man, so you got to be careful there, right? If it's a veteran, obviously we do a lot of stuff with vets for flowersforheroes.org, and I don't know, we're off the pink stuff for that. Red, white, and blue, big time. And I wouldn't send something small, okay? That gets lost in the crowd. That's inappropriate also. Thanks. Hopefully I answered your question. Dear Russ, should a flower arrangement have a dominating color, or should it be a mix of colors? Thanks. Maureen Moore in Reno, Nevada. Let me tell you something. My favorite flower arrangements are single colors, okay, and maybe a tint of something else. But I've said on the show 1,000 times, whites are my favorites, most elegant all day long. You know, if you just took orchids, white orchids, and put them in a vase, it hits. So it just, again, it depends. You're not going to do a lot of single colors in the spring. It's a really colorful time of year. Everyone wants to see color. You know, we're in Chicago, and I can tell you that the weather here is in the tank, and we haven't seen the sun in a few days. So when springtime hits, everybody wants to see a lot of colors. So hopefully I answered your question, Maureen. Dear Russ, my fiance just told me she wants our color scheme for our wedding to be a monochromatic. What the heck does that mean? Thanks, Brad Chianti in Denver, Colorado. Monochromatic means single color, okay? One color. So she's got something on her mind. A lot of florists will say, oh, you want it monochromatic. Doesn't mean it's going to be, let's just say, all red. They're probably going to do accents with that. It's for something, whether it's tables or whether it's part of the dress, or you're going to fix something in there. It's not going to be all just one single color totally, but that's what that means. Hopefully I answered your question, Brad. Dear Russ, I'm getting married on September 5th in 2010. I would like to know what flowers are in bloom at that time, and also what would be good with my wedding colors of chocolate brown, army green. Thanks. Angelica Royka in Santa Cruz, California. So her colors are chocolate brown and army green. Okay, so it's September wedding. It's Thanksgiving all day long, okay? I would roll in bittersweets. I would do, ranunculus is awesome. Get it in September. Right now it's the most popular wedding flower. I would do that, and I would roll all different types of like maybe deep yellows. I would roll in the chocolates, you know, your Leonidas or Sari roses. Even you have terracotta, which is a great color. And like I said, ranunculus is great. You got mini callas that come in mangoes. All right, sunflowers are really big at that time of year. If you like lilies, you can always do Asiatics and yellows. And then of course there's the Gerbers that are like, everybody loves Gerbers. Okay, they're really big bang, they pop, they're colorful, and they're bright. Hopefully I answered your question, Angelica. Russ, last one. Dear Russ, what can I be paired up with purple status? What can be paired up with purple status? I'm using that for my wedding, and I was wondering what I can use it with. Thanks, Janica Thompson in Atlanta. Status is filler all day long. You can use it with anything you want, okay? Status I love with white, okay, because the status white comes off as like yellow-brown. It doesn't look great. But they do come in, it comes in like a blue, it comes in a lavender. Those colors, it comes in like a red, brownish. Those colors are great as like side fillers. So if you're going to be doing corsage work and taking some mini carnations, stacking them up, and then putting status as an accent, awesome. It looks just awesome, okay? You can use it in your arrangements such as this all day long, and you can run it through the mill. Right, you can do it on table pieces, bouquet pieces, corsage pieces, boutonnieres. It's great for hair. It's small, petite. It lasts forever, and you can dry it. Okay, so hopefully I answered your question, Jana. Okay, to recap the show. Flower Buddy was with us today. 5 different types of flowers we used. Flower Buddy kit, stock, mini carnations, cushion pomps, celosia, coxcomb, red roses, freedoms. Okay. We also had for our greens, white pine and Port Orford cedar. Okay. It's great. Turned out great. Took us a few minutes. Under $20 at Russ Wholesale Flowers. Flower Buddy. Also, we're selling at Russ Wholesale Flowers. Thanks for coming. We'll see you next time.